Hey guys, just finished watching Jessica Jones season 2, episode 9, aka the shark in the bathtub, monster in the bed. Um, wow, what an episode! This episode was really good. It was really a fun episode, dealing with all kinds of stuff. I mean, the first off, we got Price Chang. It's revealed to be the shooter and stuff, and that was clearly kind of obvious. It was him involved. I kind of was hoping though that there'd be a bit more more of a IGH behind it and stuff, rather than IGH just being Trish's mother and Dr. Carl. I feel like it's kind of anticlimactic the way things are going, with there's only being the two people really behind everything instead of a whole organization of people behind everything. I really think that's really going to be cool to see where things go, but there's still enough time for more of IGH probably to come forward and go after everything. It's really going to be cool to play with that. And then we end up getting, Jessica, her mother obviously went after her in the last episode. Jessica ends up getting there and saving Price Chang and drugs him. Leaves him in the bathtub and drugs him twice, and that doesn't kill him with over 900 milligrams of horse tranquilizer. That's almost enough to, take down more than a horse type thing. So, but it doesn't, they take him hostage and he doesn't die. Jessica, we find out that Jessica blames herself for the car crash, which we knew that from last season and stuff. And we also find out that her mother blames herself because her father was actually a bad driver, and she only let him drive because he needed to drive, because he needed to feel in control and all that stuff, be the man of the family and all that stuff. And he was always a bad driver. And if she blames herself, because if she had been driving, she wouldn't have been a bad driver and looked away like that, and she would have been able to stop the car. And I think that's an interesting idea, seeing them both playing with that, and both taking the blame for the accident is quite interesting with that. Then her mother kind of suggests to her that let's just leave Chang there tied up and drugged and just go and never look back type of thing, and do all that, which is an interesting idea. But obviously, Jessica doesn't want to leave Trish or maybe even Malcolm and leave everything behind and stuff. But then we get the Trish into quitting Trish talk. She loses it on she's high on her last dose of the puffer, and that's kind of cool with that. And we get to see that as we're going through and seeing that. It's really cool to see her rant and stuff. And ends up getting her another job at another place later on. And then we get what's his face, Oscar again, calling Jessica because his ex-wife came into town and was to give him to drop off Vito, and then she decides to just kind of take off and leave with Vito, and so Jessica gets involved to kind of help and get Vito back. And as we're doing that on the bus, one of the buses, we get a Stan Lee cameo, which is a cool cameo and stuff. It's just I wish it was kind of, and it was obviously to see, you couldn't miss it type thing. I just wish it looked like there were some words on there, and I wish we could have saw the whole words and make out what the poster was, because we're only seeing an angle of it. You can see full on tell that it's Stan Lee, but you just can't see the titles and the words on there. And I imagine that the set dressers or whatever would have probably put some sort of, maybe it could have been a Stan quote or something like that, or a maybe enough said, or Excelsior could have been on the Excelsior buses or something. I don't know. It would have been cool to see that. And actually, I think it would have been cool, since they're putting it on the bus, is just call up Stan and say, hey, we're putting your face on a bus. We need a quote from you as if you like this, and then send that to his people, and then kind of Stan could just write a simple quote, catchphrase or whatever, or even take a quote out of one of Stan's soapboxes, which I think it would be cool is if they did that, take a quote out of one of Stan's soapboxes from the comics and put that on the buses as if, he's a that out of context would work on the bus. I think that would be cool if they had done that. Or like I said, just call him up and say, hey, can you write a little quote for us to put on this bus type thing. I think that would be a quite cool idea. Although, if I'm not mistaken, Stan is a bit busy right now with all kinds of stuff going on with him. But it was really cool that they used that, and they got the photo with him. And it's an interesting photo because I recognize it, how just the photo on the internet. So it probably didn't have him come in for that. They just went, oh, here's a photo of him on the internet. Download it, put it in, and there you go. Full-size photo of Stan. And so that was pretty cool with that. We get Jessica and her mom kind of stopping the bus together to get back Vito and stuff. That was pretty cool, seeing them team up. I was hoping that Jessica would be strong enough to stop a bus, but like she said in the season 1, she's only strong enough to stop a small car, or a slow moving car. And then we get Hogarth gets healed. We're not quite sure if it kind of works or whatnot, but the guy does that whole ceremony where he's kind of healing her in her bed and stuff. So it's unclear whether or not it works or not. I mean, she's kind of crying. But I'm not sure really if it, just see, is it done? Is it not done? What's going on? It's unclear where things are going with that. But we'll have to wait and see where things go. And then we get Trish gets offered CCN. She gets offered a TV job for CCN. I don't know why they didn't just use a Daily Bugle. I can't see why they wouldn't just do that. I think that would have been much cooler to see that, or even connect it to what's her face there. I can't think of over on Daredevil. I can't think of her name, but Karen Page over on Daredevil, and do it the Bulletin. I think that would have been cool connected with that, or maybe the TV side of the Daily Bugle would have been cool now that the whole MCU connection and stuff. Although I'm not sure if Marvel TV is allowed to use, Marvel movies are probably allowed to do that with Marvel Studios. They have the deal, but does that deal also trick down enough and allow them to use it in the TV stuff? I don't know how that would work out legally, but it would be cool to see Daily Bugle inside of here rather than just CCN or whatever, or use that other TV show, that other news network, WHIH type thing. That's been the MCU news program throughout the whole thing. They even had a YouTube channel for a little bit. Didn't really last long though. But that's the news stuff they've been setting up since Iron Man 1. So it would have been cool to do that rather than make up another one just for no reason. And then we find out that the nuke puffer is finally empty and there's no more left for that. And then we get Jessica ends up calling the detective when Price Chang wakes up to kind of set her mother up and put her to jail, and then as she's kind of trying to run after Chang and stuff, her mother ends up hitting Jessica, and it kind of sets something off with her, and then she decides to give herself into the prison. And it looks pretty interesting to see where things go with all that, and it's interesting we didn't have anything, no Malcolm in here whatsoever. It's definitely going to be cool to see that, and Jessica still hasn't told anyone else that that's her mother. Only Oscar and maybe Vito kind of know that her mother is the one, but Oscar doesn't know, obviously, the extent of everything. She doesn't know that her mother's a killer and all that stuff, so I think that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, and what is Trish going to think, what is Trish's mother going to think, what is Malcolm's going to think, all this stuff. I think that's really going to be cool to see how everything plays out and how everyone reacts to this whole situation, and does Trish at this point tell everyone everything? I think that's going to be fun to find out and see how things come on out from here. So all in all, it's going to be cool to see that. And does Jerry Hogarth end up playing, if Jerry's better than Ann Comanche, she could be the one taking on Jessica's mother's case, or does someone else, Foggy Nelson, I would love to see Matt Murdock, but he's quote-unquote dead, so imagine he's healing somewhere. But it would be cool to see if Jerry's not better, if, let's say, the healer ended up accidentally kind of, speeding up the process or something, or, didn't save it, and she's just not, that one chance that she had is kind of lost, and she's not ready to take on new cases. It would be cool to see Foggy Nelson take on the case, because I imagine the two other people at Chow and Benowitz would also be busy, since Malcolm set them on the path to attacking each other type thing. So I think that's really going to be cool to see where things go with all that in the next episode. So all in all, it's a great episode. Definitely can't wait to see where things go with it. A bit of a slow episode, but I can't wait to see how things go, and how Trish now is going to have to obviously go to rehab again or something, or needs something because she's out of her puffer. So that's going to be fun to see how that deals with all that and all. So all in all, it was an interesting episode. Definitely can't wait to see where things go from here. So let me think, guys, about season 2, episode 9, Jessica Jones, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
To talk to you about one of the most valuable traits a soldier or student can have.
Subscribing.
Sometimes is the key to victory. Sometimes it leads to very little, and it seems like it's not worth it. And you wonder why you waited so long for something so disappointing. How many more of these?
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Peace.
It's over.